All right, hi guys. I just want to hop in here real quick because after work today, so as a lot of you guys know, I started my first day of CrossFit yesterday. I figured I work with so many women that do it, I needed to know exactly what they were doing, what they were putting their bodies through, and see if I could handle it and do it too. So one of the things I was doing today was I was working on my shoulders, like stretching my shoulders, making them feel better. See, I've had basically every issue you can imagine, which is one of the reasons I got into physical therapy. And why I'm passionate about teaching others how to help their injuries and be able to work through it so they can exercise, run, do whatever they want. So I had hurt my shoulders back when I was actually a PT student. Somebody had me doing something I shouldn't be doing, stretching at a patient. I did it the wrong way. She pushed super hard and I seriously went like flying back off the table and hurt one of my shoulders, and I started compensating with the other one, so then the other one started to hurt. Like I seriously have like no range of motion in my shoulders. It's terrible. And I know doing CrossFit or doing lifting, it's gonna be an issue. So I figured while I'm doing it, I need to work on my shoulders. But it got me thinking, this is where you all tie into it. It got me thinking about stretching and strengthening and all those kind of things. And the thing that a lot of people don't know is you should not just stretch. Just stretching, you know what just stretching is gonna get? It's gonna get small relief, basically like a Band-Aid, but it's gonna make you do it forever. It is, again, it's not the long-term goal. We talk about like quick fixes and stuff like that. Basically, stretching is a quick fix. It's basically like putting a Band-Aid on the problem. And this is what most people do not tell you. And it's something that I didn't know either for a while. I used to tell people, stretch. If you have back pain, if you have head pain, if you have shoulder pain, just keep stretching. But the thing is, that is not the whole story. That will get you there. And yes, I do want you to stretch, but if you just stretch every day, you will not decrease your pain or do what you want. This goes back to even when I was running my marathon. So I had really tight hip flexors. I realized I had a labral tear, but they were very tight. But while I was running, if I started having a lot of pain, I would just stretch out my hip flexor and then I could run again. That's the front of your hip. And so I just thought that was good. So forever, I've been stretching out my hip flexors. And I even went live on here so many times, showing you guys great things for your hips. I showed you the foam roller. I showed you how to stretch out the front of your hips, my favorite stretch. But the problem was I was just stretching. And yes, it would help me walk during the day, help decrease my pain, but I was stretching every single day. Every day I'd wake up or I'd go for a long walk or whatever I would do, and I'd get the pain again because I wasn't doing the other thing. If you have a tight muscle, if something is stiff, for most of us, it's usually either the neck, the back, or the hip. If it's stiff, there's an issue. That means that there's a problem going on. It's not just stiff, just to be stiff. So if you have a stiffness or an ache or something like, let's just talk stiffness or like decreased flexibility somewhere, it's not just an issue of stiffness. It's because there's an issue. And just stretching it, it's like a Band-Aid. It'll make you feel better in the beginning, but it's not the total end. So with my hip flexors, since a lot of people have pain in their hip flexors, what you would have to do is think, why are they stiff? Why are they tight? And it's because if something's tight, it has to be compensating for something else. So what are we doing? If you follow me before, a lot of times when we walk, when we run, a lot of us use our calves and the front of our hip muscles. But what we should be using is our cores and our glutes. So if you have tight hips, that's most likely the case. So instead of just rolling out your hips, using the foam roller, stretching, that is good, and I want you to do it. But then after that, I want you to strengthen your glutes. So you can even do things like just glute squeezes or like hip extensions. You can't really see, I don't think here, but you would, and I have on like sweatpants. Squeeze your one butt cheek and kick back like this and forward. Squeeze your butt cheek and kick to make sure it's coming from the glute and not just the hamstring, because that's an issue. So most people foam roll or stretch after a workout, but technically you should be stretching, foam rolling first, loosening up that muscle, usually the neck, the back, or the hip, loosening it up, and then strengthening the muscle that is working harder for. So if it's your hips, it would be your glutes. So that is how to get it to not be tight forever. Because if your neck or your back or your hip is tight forever, there's an issue. And yes, like stretching it and make it feel okay, but it still always comes back and you have to do it again, and it's just really frustrating. So if you don't want to keep doing that hamster wheel of doing it again and just never getting over it, stretch it out, loosen it up, and then stretch the right muscle. If you don't know the right muscle, then ask somebody, ask me. But that is how it will do it, because that's just another sign that something is going on in your body that's not supposed to be. It's a sign of injury, it's a sign of dysfunction, and it's not good, and it could lead to many, many more serious injuries down the road, possibly like tears like me requiring surgery, and that sucks. So make sure you stretch and roll and then strengthen the right muscle. So I just put together actually a 4-part video series that's free, and it talks about how to help basically with back or hip pain. It's made for active moms that really want to get back to any level of fitness, but they're having back or hip pain, or it's really even good for neck, basically any pain. If you're having pain but you want to get back to fitness, you don't want to be restricted. You don't want to, somebody say you're just getting older, or it's because you were pregnant, or because of this. Like, that's bullshit. That's not the reason. And don't use that excuse anymore, and don't listen to anybody that tells you it is, because it's crap. It's only because your body's not working the way it should. So if you want that, remember I said it's free, 4-part series. I'll tell you how to get back to any level of fitness you want. Do it above, but even if you don't, stop just stretching. Stretch and then strengthen the right muscles. I promise you that will help you a million times over. So if this tip helped, I would love for you guys to share it, because so many people do this wrong. So many people just stretch, and it's just such a waste of time and gonna get you hurt. So please share so your other friends know. Comment if this tip helped you. If you want more tips to help stay pain-free, decrease the pain so you can do any level of fitness, marathons, triathlons, Ironman, CrossFit, I don't care what you want to do. You can do it no matter what if your body works the right way, and don't listen to those people that tell you you can't, because you shouldn't. All right, have a good night.